where they might not end up being the number 1 seed when all is said and done, because right on their heels is the evil witch magic of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Dude, they can't keep getting away with it. Or maybe they just really can with another AFC North special, a 2-point win over Baltimore. For those of us who picked Pittsburgh +3, we did it, guys. We did it. But once again, we got to give credit to Mike Tomlin. I don't know how many different times we could say this. Not only did we did in our preseason predictions, we didn't love the team. The quarterback thing was a little worrisome. There was some questions. Not only did you have a 4-2 Justin Fields, you said, "No, we're going to switch," and you made it work with no issues. Like, there really hasn't been it's been, I don't want to say seamless because like that's overused, but you didn't see like oh god, drop off, boing boing. In fact, Russell was so good the first game, he's come back down to earth a little bit the last couple of games. But they've still been winning. They found a way to get it done. We saw it in the fourth quarter of that game. You need a first down. They brought in Justin Fields to get fancy. So it's like, oh, what if we gave him the ball and he picks up the first down or slides an inch too early and then they pick it up the next down? But he's done an incredible job mastering this, just managing this team. Defense, we already know. Special teams, Chris Boswell has more fantasy points than Cooper Kupp, Travis Kelce, DeAndre Swift. There's like a weird list when you see the names on, like, oh, that's uncomfortable. He has been that, and that's fantasy, I know, but field goals count as points. Offensive line, the best one we've seen in years from Pittsburgh, and I can't believe I'm saying that, but I kind of can because it's been that rough the last few years. This is already a Najee Harris Stan account. We already know that. Jaylen Warren's effective. And with Russell Wilson, the one thing that's happened is he's gotten George Pickens unlocked. Like, George Pickens, for better and for worse, he's an absolute demon on the outside, and they're getting him involved. And part of that, I think it's Russell Wilson just saying, you know what, screw you, Arthur Smith. I'm just going to throw in the ball, which he has the cachet to get away with because I know Arthur Smith's not calling those plays. We've seen what happens when he calls plays. I think just having Russell Wilson's experience there as a 13-year quarterback, a guy who's played in a lot of playoff games, has really brought it steady to match what Mike Tomlin brings management-wise, and they might end up being the number 1 seed. All the talk about Buffalo and Kansas City, Pittsburgh still has the Browns a couple of times this week. They got the Bengals, who they regularly find a way to sometimes annoy too, because the Bengals, A, can't get out of their own way, and B, can't win in their division. Still have the Ravens again, who Lamar is 1-5 against. Like, there's a realistic chance Pittsburgh somehow ends up like 14-3 and could be the number 1 seed. It's very weird to say, and I don't like it.
No, I think that's fair. I do need to formally apologize to the Steelers and Mike Tomlin right now. I did pick them to go 4-13, and I'm an idiot. I apologize. I didn't think this was going to work so well.
I picked 9-8, and they're already at 8.
Yeah, you guys got to that with Justin Fields before making the switch, and then decided, oh, by the way, we're going to get better. And my bad. That's on me. Look, I didn't think it was going to work for many reasons, but I think at the end of the day, I feel justified in the reasons that I picked, why they wouldn't make it work, and they proved me wrong. And I think it starts with I'm not going to go to the quarterback position. I think we all know what's happening there. I think Arthur Smith. I know you just joked about Arthur Smith not calling those plays, but I think this proves that Arthur Smith is a better offensive coordinator than he was a head coach. I think this just proves it as a offensive play caller. He does not feel the need to try to be the smartest person in the room. He just feels the need to make the most successful play. They're not all great, but it also feels like they just put the replay of the Ryan Tannehill-led Titans with A.J. Brown on the outside and took that and put that on a replay for Russell Wilson to learn to take his drop, maybe take a beat, and then throw the ball. Because I'm not seeing Russell extending plays just by standing in the backfield and backing up an extra 10 yards. I'm not seeing that Russell. It has happened, and it's not foolproof, but it's not happening at the same rate it was in Seattle or in Denver, which caused him to be so bad. And I'm not going to say Denver was only his fault. That's far from the truth. We know that's not true. But I was also concerned that was going to continue and carry over because sometimes that happens with especially veterans. I think it's he realized, and Arthur Smith realized, and I think even getting Russell in the room realized that the best option for this offensive line is to unload deep early to George Pickens, let George Pickens get unlocked, as you mentioned. I think you can cut out the demon on the outside part, just say demon when talking about George Pickens, and you're going to be accurate. I've never seen a dude jump and stiff arm at the same time until seeing him do it. That was absolutely wild. But,
He is the epitome of the wheel of chaos on any given play. He can be the best receiver in football, or he can get ejected. It can go either way.
Exactly. It's crazy watching him. But, it starts there, and then it's immediately to the run game. I mean, it's immediately ground and pound. It's immediately just run it down their throat and see what happens. And then, hey, we're going to hit a play action deep to Pickens. Or, hey, we're going to hit Pat Freiermuth for 10 yards over the middle. It's simple things with this team that are excelling well, but it starts with getting the ball out quick versus, and that's the one thing that this entire team, if we go back, run the tape back, I think this is the moment where I said, I'm concerned he's going to hold on to the ball for more than 4 seconds. And that's going to ruin this offensive line. This offensive line was not prepared for that. And what they've done is just eliminate that option. It's 2 seconds and out, basically, and not letting any pass rush really get to Russell. And that's, I think, a huge part of their success offensively. And defensively, again, Mike Tomlin is a Joes and Schmoes guy, and that defense runs on Joes and Schmoes, and it's amazing. I believe somebody said it's a see ball get ball defense in their secondary, and it looks like a see ball get ball defense. It looks like the ball's in the air. Let's just go tackle the guy. Forget your assignments. If you see the ball in the air, just go to the ball because they can't move without the ball. It's very effective minimalist or defensive stylings. Obviously, there's a lot of shells, a lot of two deep rotations and stuff that happen, but it's just in its general scope. It's another Steelers defense that you look at and it's like, this is crazy. How can you continue to be this good? I do have a concern about maybe Porter being injured long term, if that's a thing. I don't think it is, but you do concern about that. But they do bring in Eric Rowe as a safety, kind of backing up and filling in, who's had success in his career, has a Super Bowl title, was as a bench player for the Patriots, but he does have a Super Bowl title. I mean, this Steelers team is good, top to bottom, and you mentioned Joey Sly, who just continues to be effective.
Chris Boswell.
Sorry, Chris Boswell. I don't know why I said Joey Sly.
Kicker.
I was like, I have Chris Boswell, and he scored 18 points for me last week. It's about the third time. Yeah, 24. Third time over 15 this season at being the leading scorer. I loved it. But yeah, I don't know why I said Joey Sly. Joey Sly is on my mind. I don't know. But yeah, it's impressive.
Last thing I'll mention with Arthur Smith, though, is he's done a much better job with Russell Wilson in the fold, because even in the beginning of the season with Justin Fields, he was up to his old tomfoolery. So he should not be allowed any quarterback under 29 years old. I don't know what it is, but he has Ryan Tannehill and Russell Wilson. It works. Desmond Ridder and Justin Fields. He's
any quarterback that can move. It feels like he's like, I'm going to have way too much fun with this, and makes a mistake. And any quarterback that's stationary.
Over 4.6. Anything that runs over 4.6. I think Tannehill was about that 4.7-ish.
I think he was a 4. I actually think Tannehill was like a 4.5 or 4.49 or something, because he was running.
But this was when he was like 30. So I'm presuming he slowed down a touch. But either way, he needs to have a limited quarterback so he doesn't try and get too cute. That's the only way I could think of it at this point.
But it's like the same offense that he played with in Tennessee. I mean, if you just look at it across the board, it's similar in build. You have a big running back, obviously not to the level that Derrick Henry is. Good receiver, not the level A.J. Brown was. Good tight end, again, not the levels. But, it's small pieces there that just, it looks shades of that Titans team that was really good.
It's frustrating because we all wanted that in Atlanta with Bijan and Kyle Pitts and Drake London, but he's like, no.
It's almost like he looked at it and he's like, it would be too easy for me to do this, so I'm going to make it harder on myself.